Can you give me another clap?
Wait, right. That was a bitch clap.
It was.
Just had a bunch of issues again, and you guys seen it in 13, you guys seen it in 14, and then you seen it in 2015. And so by the end of 2015, that was just where that's when I left Texas, moved to Florida, and I had to get a new perspective on my program. My 2015 chassis, which obviously is the same as 14, and is going to be the same as 16. That car drove better than it's ever driven. I mean, that's 100% for sure. I remember that. I remember Bub doing my alignment, getting on the Part Shop Max stuff, and actually being comfortable in the car. It just really wasn't at the competitive direction that it could have been. It left room for error, yeah. I mean, like I mentioned, like me and my dad and my friend are building a car and we're going against the top professionals in the United States. You know what I mean? The reality of it is just like any other motorsport, like NASCAR or, road racing, like all these motorsports programs, when you look at the real programs that are running and operating, it's a lot like Enjuku, but we're just at the very beginning. And over the course of one racing season plus off season, I've been here. And I've been able to work closely with Kevin, and we've just developed what we're calling Team Enjuku, like a program that we can give back to the fans, give back to the sponsors, as well as go to pro racing and then do just straight fun events. And that really encompasses the foundation of what we all started drifting for. So that's the end-all be-all reason why we're here. The first thing that comes to my mind as far as a personal perspective on the car and myself, I've never been able to be around a professional that's going to build my race car and be there every day. So that is really cool for me to not only help disassembling it, which literally means everything, but just being a part of that is cool. But what comes along with that is a lot of cool work. So obviously, one of the first things Bub wanted to do is stitch weld the entire chassis, which is a ton of grinding off this old stuff that you breathe in for days and it sucks.
Whatever the fuck you can use to get it. I'm using screwdrivers, picks, whatever.
Okay. Sounds good.
All seams.
Yeah. Well, then I'll get in here and clean up what I can.
I want to concentrate.
You're taking a car from 1990 and pulling any piece of gunk that it's ever gotten in the scene. That's insane, like. These dudes have been using torches on the car, grinding away, and crazy masks, like little hooks, like they've been getting after it. And it's really cool, to see that also, so. when you see the blowtorch, they're heating up what would basically be a seam sealer, which in non-car people terms would be like bubble gum. The concept is just where things might be a little mushy, the seams are all welds. So let's use, for example, coming off the Orlando bank and when you hit the infield, you know, things like that. When the car's put under a lot of load and a lot of stress and the weight is really being thrown around, the better part of stitch welding the chassis is you're just giving the driver a connected car. So it doesn't flex as much. So you feel a lot more connected as a driver. And I'm excited because it's my first time to have that. It's the complete opposite of a Cadillac. You know, you get in a Cadillac and you're like on air. You feel some bumps maybe, but not really. I mean, the opposite of that is a race car, which we like to feel every bump, we like to feel every flex, we like to know where the weight is at every turn, so we can go give our guys the info back so they can set it up better. And stitch welding helps that. It looks a lot more like a race car, and that's because they're building one. You know, it's literally like when you go to look at that thing on the track, every seam you're gonna see is gonna be stitch welded. There was a lot of things like aesthetically on the chassis that were not correct, you know, and not that they were that wrong, but there's some things you see and you don't really know why it's wrong, but when Bub sees it, he can see some flaws or some ways to better it. So you see Bub leading Tommy, and Tommy's throwing in new bars in my cage and, you know, getting the work done that we need to get done to be on target with the program.